Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 536. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinside.
Ahoy.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 536 of the Gamecast. Guys, I hate that. I don't even hate it. Like, kicking off these episodes of What We Know Too. It's Yakuza. It's always Yakuza, and I'm sorry, I'm about to jump into Yakuza. Like, I have to kick us off. This whole week, since the last episode, I have accomplished two things. I have played 10 hours, and I've accomplished two things. Actually, no, I've accomplished one thing. I haven't even finished the other thing. So I finally got past the boss fight I was stuck on, I was talking about. Basically, I loaded up on MP items so that I could just basically heal like crazy. I figured out my issue with the fight was the fact that he burned the healer. I was I wasn't doing that right. And then by the time I burned those other characters down, I was out of attack power. And then I actually found out one of the other boss in that fight does a counter. If you hit him with physical attacks, he counters you and hits you for the same damage. So it's like that was causing problems. Well, I stumbled across a special attack that doesn't cause the counter, so I just kept doing that and restoring the MP and just burning them down that way. So I got past the fight. But I got stuck massively in that game. Last week I was talking about it. Because of the sequence I was in for that boss fight, side missions were not available for me. Like, there was nothing. I realized that as I'm like going around trying to level up, I'm like, well, I could do some side story stuff, but there was nothing on the map. I was in the middle of an event essentially, so I was stuck. Luckily, I was able to go into some dungeons and obviously the item thing. But getting through that was a hell of an accomplishment. Like, I was so happy. It's one of those games where like when you finally beat it, you're like, fuck yeah, I finally did that. That was like a good challenge kind of thing. And then I decided that because I couldn't do those sub-stories, this week was side story missions. That was it. I'm going side stories all the way through. This game is fucking weird. These side stories, one of them was I have to take a guy who could feel no pain, he was visiting a dominatrix so he could feel pain. Didn't work. And then it turns into a love story between him and the dominatrix, and like you help them and he saves her life, and it was like a whole side. It's like, this is the kind of stories you get in this game. Yep, so I've been doing side stories all week.
Sounds right.
Yeah. It is Yakuza. That's what I'm trying to say. It is the game at its core, but it's an RPG mixed into it. It's such a weird combination.
Yeah, it sounds like the RPG stuff is a little scary to me, the way you've been described.
Well, I will say that the random encounters of people, like I'm at the end of that because you get no experience from these things, and I'm just like I'm trying to avoid them as much as possible now. But I'm on chapter 10, and I just did the business simulator because there's a business to run in the game, and that's where you really can start making some money. And I am not doing well in that game. Like the business simulator, I'm supposed to be a rank 100 company, and I'm at 101 right now, and I have one turn left. So if I don't go into there, I lose, and I don't know what happens if I lose that, because that's a major part of this game. Like, do I have to start over, or like I don't know how this works. But because of what happened in that boss fight, I'm like, I need to get cash because I'm gonna need some fucking money in this game to buy items and everything. So I went to business ventures, and I don't know. So I've been doing that. Like, actually, before I popped on the podcast, I was trying to simulate a few rounds. Before I got to the next shareholder, I have one shareholders meeting left in my businesses, and I don't know how I'm going to rank up. I don't even know yet. Like, I'll tell you guys next week.
Are there casinos that you can sort of cheese and cheating items?
Yes, there are casinos in the game. There are. In fact, I own a casino in my business. I invested in one, so we'll see if that pays off.
Do you have?
I'm hoping it's going to get me to my 100.
Are there cheating items for like things? There's certain.
I don't know yet. I didn't get into that part yet. Yeah, I didn't get into that part yet.
Normally in that, and then you can sort of go crazy and bet on certain things and use those items, get the high chip prizes that you can exchange at pawn shops for money. No, at least that's how it's been in most of the Yakuza games. I don't know if it is in this one.
I have to go back to the pawn shop. I'm sure I have a bunch of stuff. I've been getting like
that's money.
Yeah, I have to get back to the pawn shop, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm enjoying the game, but that's really all I've played this week because it's hours upon hours in that game. So I'll be on that for a while. That's why it's COVID. I don't care. I'm going to be playing that game. What else is coming out? Really, what else is coming out? So, Corey, what have you been playing? Anything?
No, I've just been playing stuff with my boys and Tabletop Simulator, like a lot of Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. Actually.
Nice. That was a good game. I like that game.
Yeah, they love. I mean, my older one loves Plants vs Zombies, so
yeah,
he's all about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Tony?
Smash Brothers. Aside from Final Fantasy, which I always do right now, played Smash Brothers because Pyra and Mithra came out, and it's just so cool. Like, it's so cool for me because obviously, I love that game so much, and just seeing an underrepresented franchise get a representative is just super cool, and they nailed it. Like, they absolutely nailed every aspect of them, and they came out and said, actually, Sakurai had said that normally he does the trailer, like the teaser trailers and stuff like that, with all the animations of whatever style the franchise was from. But for this, he actually let Monolith Soft do the entire thing. Like, they wrote the story, like the story for the reveal and everything like that. I was like, that is so cool. And then Monolith, they even went the extra mile and like rendered the characters their like acceptance into the Smash Brothers franchise and got their voice actresses back to like record new dialogue and stuff like that. I'm just like, that is so cool. Like, just pull like, hey, we need you guys to say like 2 lines just so we can make like a promo for Smash Brothers. I'm just like, that's super cool to me. And just like, obviously, I love that franchise, and I think we had mentioned before how like after the announcement, like the game sold out in Japan because they're not really printing new copies anymore. So now everybody's like rushing to get that. So I hope that gives another shot in the arm to the franchise, and we see a Xenoblade 3 in the next few years. So
yeah, that'd be cool. Awesome. And then more Final Fantasy. Like you said, you're COVIDed up, so you played some. You there?
Sorry, what was that?
You were COVIDed up, so you played some more Final Fantasy.
You was vaccinated up.
Yep,
vaccinated up. Sorry, vaccinated. Not COVID.
Yep,
that's a bad.
Don't confuse them.
That's a bad word.
I was telling you a couple of weeks ago, Jim, that the zone I was grinding right now was like emulating Final Fantasy 11. Yeah. In that, like, if you die, you lose experience if you don't get res by another player within 10 minutes. And I finally reached the max level in that zone, and I died. People were like, whoa, don't res, because I was like, I'll just res, like, I'm max level. They're like, no, you will de-level. I was like, oh, this is that infamous de-leveling that you and Nick always complained about. Like, it's like, oh, shit, like, there's a penalty for dying. I was like, fuck this. Like, no.
Yeah. That's... Oh God! You could undo like 3 days of work in one bad session in Final Fantasy 11. Yep. That's how bad that was. Anyways, one bad pull in that game. You're like, this isn't even a boss fight. It's a mob. It's a fucking mob, and we just fucking wiped and lost 3 days of fucking work. Anyways, Mike, what have you been playing?
I've been mopping up a little bit of Yakuza 4 sub stories on the side there. I'm getting close to moving on to the next one. Again, I still might take a break, like I said, in between, but I'm not sure. But also, and I'm embarrassed, but, in the spirit of keeping an open mind, I gave in to my friend Ryan and joined him in World of Tanks.
What?
Yeah.
World
of
Tanks?
Yeah. And, it's a game. It's all right. Like, occasionally, like, if you do good, you're like, all right, cool. And I see the whole thing set up. They do give you a fair amount of stuff without paying. It's not quick, but it happens. You level up your tanks. It's just tanks. You shoot each other. Sometimes you do good, sometimes you don't, and you get stuff. World of Tanks.
You get stuff.
It's all right. He just wanted a game that has that like feedback loop and something we could play online. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it with you for a little bit. And it's not as annoying as I thought, but it's nothing special. And I'm kind of looking forward to, and I've already planted this seed because I know Squadrons is coming to Game Pass soon. I believe, yeah. And I'm like, what would be cooler than this if this was with Star Wars shit. I'm like, guess what's coming? He's like, yeah, all right, yeah, but I'm into this right now. I'm like, okay, but Star Wars. So hopefully we can pivot but we'll see if I can swing that or not. World of Tanks is okay, but it's not anything special that I want to do for too long.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's get into it. We don't have much news going on this week. There was I think let's lead it with the best the lead. Let's go with the lead. Let's lead with the lead. Switch Pro seems like it might be real.
Oh.
There was a leak last week from
we
Bloomberg.
felt pretty confident last week, right?
Did we talk about it last week? I don't think we did. It came out after we were talking about it.
I've been talking about it for a while. Like, it's been happening. It's just, I think COVID and like all the shortages with components right now just pushed.
We definitely mentioned stuff about the screen size and.
Oh yeah, that was just. Was that just in chat?
Yeah, it was just in chat. We didn't talk about it. It happened the day after the podcast. So
as things do.
So this is because this is the leaked information. So 7-inch screen, OLED, which is I'll get to in a second, 720p, and then 4K docked. And I gotta say, like, this is so promising because OLED screen is going to massively improve that battery life. Not to mention, I'm sure it's a better battery. So you're gonna get like a true handheld experience if this is real. Like Bloomberg is reporting this. I think it was Bloomberg News. But if it's real, and
I mean, this lines up with all the rumors we had late last year too. So
yeah, and then I mean, just the thought of playing like Breath of the Wild 2 in HDR, or even better frame rates on that game, like because that game, the only thing in that game that lacked for me was the frame rate dips. And if you get locked frame rate in that game, holy shit! Wow, I'm looking forward to that in HDR in that game. I don't care about like stunning graphics. I care about like bright colors, and that's Nintendo. Like, and that's what HDR is. I feel like I've been waiting to talk about this since last week because I started mentioning this in our conversations on the Discord. But like, Nintendo is about. They're about bright colors in their games. If you think about Mario, like the Zelda game, everything that's on the Switch, like their Yoshi, Toad, the Toad's, what's his game? Captain Toad. I mean, they're all like, it's all.
I want to say Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yeah, they're like, it's all about vivid colors with Nintendo games. They're first party IPs, like Splatoon. Like HDR is like the biggest thing for them to get. Like. That is going. I don't care about 4K. I care about HDR with Nintendo games.
That's why that's the hill I would have died on for sure. Like from the get go, like resolution is not as important as color.
No, I mean my holy shit moment was when you realize that. Like when you have a TV that can do that, and you're like, I'm not. My TV handles.
What was the game? Oh, it was Horizon, wasn't it? The one that you showed us all.
Yes. Yeah.
HDR.
Yeah, and it gets better as the games use it better. Like, you know what I mean? That was an early game. It gets better as it goes. So like, I just like, it's unbelievable what it can do, and it pairs so well with Nintendo. I'm looking forward to this. This is without a doubt an upgrade for me instantly. Before the PlayStation 5 and before the Xbox. Like the game, it's not even real yet, and I'm like, I'm buying this game. I'm buying this.
It's something I'm looking forward to too because I'm currently sharing my Switch with my brother, and now it's an excuse. Like that's why I have a PS Pro, PS4 Pro, and the one that we had back, at our childhood house before. He took, and now I have a PS Pro. So this will be something where I'll probably buy the upgrade and let him keep the old one permanently.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. Anything else on the system specs, or is that all we got so far? That's really it.
It's all. Yeah. I mean, we kind of talked about I think it's just been like a long string of rumors that just kind of bled into everything here.
Yeah.
It's 100%. Right. 100%.
Sure. Yeah. What else we got here in news? Diablo 2 is going to allow your 20-year-old save games to be imported into this new version, if you have them.
Okay.
Hey, more PC Master Race stuff for you there.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool that they allow that, but like I'm not getting
who
this game.
has them?
And I love Diablo 2. I love Diablo 2.
Yeah, who has them?
Right. I don't know, man. Fucking some nerd on a floppy disk, I'm sure, somewhere.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, the extreme fans, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, there's probably, 100 people? Like, there's not that many that would have a floppy disk of their Diablo 2 saves. There would be. They're definitely not a computer running from 20 years ago. So, I don't know. But it's cool. Microsoft today, the Bethesda acquisition more finalized today. They commented more about it. Basically, we are going to get those exclusive games. They didn't say everything, but expect exclusive from Bethesda to Microsoft stuff, to Xbox Game Pass, essentially. I'm not saying specifically Microsoft. I'm saying Game Pass because we don't know where that's going to end up. That could be on Switch. That could be on PS5. We don't know. But exclusively to Game Pass. So, big thing for them? I think it's still a big get. It's a lot of money.
It's all like fake exclusivity. Like it doesn't.
I mean, the thing is that it's going to be on PC, so
yeah. Which I started pricing. For those wondering, I'm pricing right now, $1,400. But pricing is
it's pretty good.
21 years of consoles.
Yeah, it's they're pricey, and I have my case and my power supply already, but that's without those two, $1,400. But that's with a 3060 graphics card, which I think is a pretty good graphics card, or is that mid-range now? I don't even know. I'm still researching this stuff, but. So that's pretty much it for the news. But there's not much going on in the gaming world yet. I mean, actually this week I think they're talking about more Microsoft stuff, possibly happening.
Oh, there's a big. Anyone who still cares about Marvel's Avengers is pissed off at their latest misstep.
What did they do?
Well, their Clint Barton Hawkeye DLC is coming, and their proper next-gen versions of the game are also coming. To coincide with that, they decided that in order to keep new players from being overwhelmed, they're going to slow the progression rate of their characters. It's not like they say it's not a curve like it's supposed to be. It's a straight line. So when you're higher level, you level up real quick. Basically, they're making it grindier. And their justification is to not overwhelm new players with lots of skill points. And everyone's all pissed off. It's like, this was not the problem with this game. This is actually the opposite, because when you're fully leveled, the characters actually finally become distinct from each other. So everyone's pissed off, and it's definitely seems like a way that they can pad playing time for new players without adding real content.
They want people to keep their discs and not trade them in, and they want people to play longer because user engagement is how they track this kind of
another big
metric.
A big mess. That game that everyone is upset about, and for good reason.
Get rid of that studio.
I'm glad
they are the worst. They're the fucking worst.
Just stick to Tomb Raider.
Don't stick to anything. Just fucking fire them all. Like, close that studio down. I'm sorry. Like, they're trash. They're absolute fucking trash.
I suppose. I mean, they did an okay job with Tomb Raider, their first.
What, the
reboot.
First one? Like, what,
first
10 years
reboot,
ago?
Yeah, I guess.
10 years ago?
That's the only one I played, so I can't comment on the others. Jim, you've commented. You've played them.
Yeah.
They seemed thoroughly okay from afar. Never played them.
Ringing endorsement by Jim.
Yeah, ringing.
All right.
Ringing. So.
Like, Jim, would you be upset if that studio shut down?
No. Like, I said this already. Like, how many times I have to tell you guys? Like, they just went like, shh. Like, that's all they were doing. They made one good game that I really enjoyed, and then they faded away into nothingness. So I'd be fine with the fact of them not, like, seriously. Like, I don't feel like they were not the right studio for this game. That's the end of it. There's no way. So.
Well, I mean, it's a totally wrong approach for what the game should have been.
It's a loot-based game without loot. Or there is loot, but it doesn't do anything cosmetically for you, and that's the point of these fucking games. Like, you missed the fucking point, people. So, how do you design a game? Who doesn't speak up in a fucking meeting? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna. Never mind. I'm not. Never mind. Not gonna do this. But.
Slower progression for that. Yep.
Slower progression. Yay. So.
Right. Someone did speak up. They spoke up and said, "Wait, we can't change the look of these characters. They're iconic.
Please get the Target edition, like, saggy pants wearing Hulk."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, right, iconic. Of course.
Yeah.
All those Hawkeye's got, like, This would be the same. All his bows would be the
Best Buy
same.
Captain America. Iconic.
Hulk's pants will be purple every time.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't even know what they were thinking. I really don't. Like, people are gonna love it. No, they won't. So.
And it's funny too because someone mentioned this, like Sony wasted so much money with that Spider-Man exclusivity.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's not even
payoff.
like on the horizon yet for this game, and no one's playing it anymore. So
Yep.
yeah, it's a mess.
It's dead. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this Gamecast episode. There's not much else in the news unless I missed something, right? No. I got everything. All right, that's going to wrap up this episode. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us allyoucangeek@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe and like button. We appreciate it, guys. We'll see you next week.